I call home Beaver, Utah.
Moving here was a huge gamble. Moving your whole family to somewhere small, coming from a big city, and the community here has really opened up and welcomed us tremendously.
I was 8 years old when my parents split. My dad was a single dad my pretty much entire childhood.
His dad just took such great care of him and just wanted to make sure that Jake was okay and that he had a place to go and that he was safe.
You know, he never complained. He sacrificed his dating life, baseball tournaments, football games, never missed a thing, and he is just the most dedicated father that I know, and he stepped up big time.
It's Friday night before Labor Day weekend, and I was getting ready to go to watch a game, and I got a call from the doctor.
So it was stage 3 colon cancer. They said if they don't operate as soon as possible, it could transition to stage 4 within the next weeks. I was in panic mode for a minute, yeah. I was like, what do you mean? Because I think when you hear that word, it just transitions you forward to, well, what happens in a year? What happens in 2 years? Like, what if I don't have my dad? So, I mean, I was gonna be alone. I felt scared that I was gonna be alone at some point.
The neighborhood all came and helped out, getting dinner out and bringing it over, and did it in a fashion that it wasn't uncomfortable, which is something as well, because no one likes to ask for stuff, or it was done. And I didn't have to worry about Jake getting fed when I could barely get up off the couch or out of bed. There were many days like that. I just thank the Lord for the community that we had, because they helped us tremendously by bringing us meals and, you know, just little acts of kindness that, you know, and the prayers and just all that. Like, me and my pop probably couldn't have got through it without my community.
I would check on Dave fairly frequently, and I can't recall him really ever complaining. The only thing that he was really concerned about was if Jake was okay and if he was going to be able to beat this.
I've had the privilege to be able to broadcast all the high school sports. It was fun to be able to call the games at a time when I knew Dad couldn't be there. You know, to give a shout out to Dave watching from home, knowing that he was going through chemo. It's an honor to be able to do that kind of a thing and to facilitate, you know, that relationship between Dave and his boy on the football field.
Jake didn't want to lose his dad, his best friend, the man that he loves. Dave didn't want to leave his son. And how do you figure out your future when you don't know what you're going to face? That's the difficult thing. What is my future going to be like? Is it going to have my dad as part of my future? Or is he not going to be there?
So my dad comes up to me and he's like, listen, son, like, I love you. I had extra money to try and help you out for college, but at this point, it's just not gonna work out. I think you should start sending out football film. And I was reluctant at first. I didn't really think that that's a direction that I thought I could go even. You know, I didn't believe in my abilities as much as other people did at that point in time. And I promised my dad a couple days later, like, yeah, I'll start cutting up film, send it out, and we'll see what happens.
Saturday morning, he'd go through and he'd watch it and play his play, critique himself, and then he'd pick all the good ones and put together a clip to send. And he did it religiously, and that definitely helped get him seen out there.
Jake's a super special one to me because when I first was introduced to Jake Eichorn, it was just over film. And watching his high school film, I don't know what it was that caught my eye, but immediately he became one of my very favorite players in that class.
He honestly was just so personable and cared about my story, cared about what I was doing all the time, and cared about my dad a lot. And that's something that meant a lot to me. Actually, while he was recruiting me, took down my dad's number and would call my dad like once every couple weeks to a month to check on him, see how he's doing.
Jake is a high school junior and senior having to take care of his dad who had cancer at the time. I mean, what a difficult situation that he was in, but it goes back to the maturity that comes out of those experiences. He was mature beyond his years, and it showed on the baseball field, it showed on the football field, and everyone we talked to down in Beaver just backed what an unbelievable person he was, first and foremost, and also what a player he was.
We've talked a lot about community and how that helped Jake, but this was out of the community, but it fit right in with what Jake experienced. And I think that's why he signed with Weber State, was that connection he had with the coach.
I would always say that there was always a man in my life telling me that, you know, you're gonna be something. I believe in you. I see this in you.
He's never gonna pat himself on the back and say that I'm the greatest. That's just not who he is. You know, he's talked to his dad, or talked to us, or talked to Scott Langford or his coaches or whoever. In time, he sees that he belongs, that he has what it takes, and more.
It's been the reason for my success, not only part of the reason, like I think it is the reason that they help instill in myself.
Being Jake's dad it's been an adventure. It's been exciting. It's had its low times, but overall, it's the best thing that I've ever done. It's raising my kid and then seeing the man he's become. Aside from all the sports and everything, he's just a really good human being.
You know, one of the biggest reasons I play college football and I enjoy what I do is because it makes my family proud. And obviously my closest family is my pop. My pregame routine is walking up to my dad pregaming, just giving him a hug, telling him I love him. To have him there, especially where 2 years ago we didn't know, you know, I thank God every day that I have with my pop.